how do you plan to, you either celebrating or commemorating Women's Day?
We are going to join women in all parts of the country to commemorate this historic day. There are events organized across the country, and the main one is here in the Western Cape in Paarl, where all of us are going to be there to go and remember the hard work of our mothers that came before us, and to go and get inspiration so that we can continue the struggles of women.
What will be your key message for the day?
Our message is to young women to just remind them that we are not yet free as women, that our struggle for women emancipation continues, that our most immediate struggle that we must continue to fight with everything we've got is the struggle against the victimization of women and gender-based violence, the struggle against rape and rape culture in our societies and communities.
Now, the Western Cape, it's interesting that government has decided to choose the Western Cape, in particular Paarl, to commemorate or celebrate Women's Day. That particular province has become synonymous with child murders. What is it that you think government can do to try and bring this scourge to an end?
We are encouraging policing forums and also building united communities, and of course it means we have to play a role as an organization and as young women of the women movement, where through our campaign called Dumela Moaisha and Molo Makelwan, we have to look out at what happens to those that we live with. But on the side of the government, we think they must increase police presence in our communities, build sustainable and active policing forums where members of the community participate, and also increase or have harsher sentences for those that are found guilty with the murder of women and children.
Ms. Banda, you are a young woman, and one would assume that, you also a professional woman in whatever field of work you're in. What are your sentiments around this engineer, the CEO, in fact, of civil engineering in South Africa, that's Mr. Manglin Pillay, who has suggested that there is possibly a debate about whether or not women belong in the engineering and technology field, and he believes that women should actually be caregivers, if you like, at home. What's your attitude towards someone who, in this day and age, harbors those views?
I can actually not believe that today in 2018, towards the end of the year in 2018, a man can wake up and say such backwards, embarrassing statements. Women cannot anymore in 2018 want to prove themselves and to fight that they can do anything and they can fit into any field. We actually think the Council of Engineers must take action against such backward statements against women, because it has capacity to perpetuate the oppression of women in that field, especially that such remarks come from a person of high ranking in the field. Action has to be taken against him. We cannot today still want to argue that we can do anything. We cannot today still want to argue about our capacity and capabilities as women. That was very regretful and very embarrassing, and we just hope that gender sensitization must even continue and be intensified so that we don't get to hear such statements of that nature from men who hold high positions in our society.